way for the moment.
Ooh, that was nice.
So we're recording.
You're funny.
Hi guys, welcome to Wild Vlogs, where we'll talk about all things wildlife and all things filmmaking. As you will have just seen there, we've taken our daily exercise down to my local park, only 50 yards from our backyard here, and we've got a water sample from the moat of Caledon Castle. And we're really excited because we brought this water sample back, and we're using a fantastic piece of kit today. This thing sat in front of me, which is the Dino-lite Edge microscope, with ranges from 10 times at its lower end to 270 times at its higher end. And we know already, looking at the sample with the naked eye, that we can barely see, but we can see lots of microscopic life in there. So it's going to be a really exciting vlog as we enjoy ourselves cruising through what can be only more than 2 tablespoons full of water, but hopefully it'll be a real safari of microscopic life. So we're getting some really nice pondweed here, and you can see the mesophyll cells, and that's the cells that contain the chlorophyll and the chloroplast. So you know what chlorophyll does, don't you?
Yes. It sucks in sunlight and it provides food.
Food for the plant.
It provides starch. I think that's the word.
That's right, food for the plant. Brilliant, fantastic. You can actually see it. It's amazing. You can see the individual little cells there.
You can.
Now we're not up to proper magnification yet. This is still quite low magnification. I expect this is about 100 magnification. Be looking to get a lot more deeper into the magnification as we go along. So we're getting some pretty amazing images now, and especially because this Daphnia that we have here at the moment is pretty static, and that's really saying something for Daphnia, because they tend to be moving around all the time, don't they? But this guy is just bobbing. I mean, I should have said from the get-go what these are. These are freshwater crustaceans. They're a very simple life, Daphnia. They just live off eating algae and rotting vegetation. Also, they have this kind of opaque carapace where you can see right into them. You can see the digestive tract, you can see the heart beating. That's hopefully we'll see that at some point as we go along. But you can see the heart beating just behind the eye, the heart. Everything's in the wrong order if you compare it to our physiology.
Another one's coming to show.
Another one's coming to show, isn't it? Actually, you can see the heart on the one that's just coming to show. That black blob there, you see it? That's the heart. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, pretty fast, I'd imagine.
Beating like hell.
150 beats a minute, probably, that one. Got a little tryst going on here now. Look at those wonderful fronds and frilly arms. I wish I knew the names for these, the official name. Obviously, we've got that kind of antenna there at the top, and then these two protrusions like arms, and this wonderful kind of spiny tail sticking out the back. But it's just an absolute wonder. Their eyes as well. They have a compound eye. I do know this, and I think possibly it may be split into 2, but and I can actually see it. Actually, if you look at these eyes, you keep a watch on these eyes, you can see them moving. They have a very simple structure there that can move the eye, not so much, but up and down, and you can clearly make that out at some point. So I'm keeping this very still now because I don't want to disturb these two. I don't want to move off this image. Of course, a fraction of the movement here on this tray is massive movement on the monitor. I nearly had a heart attack. I thought I wasn't recording there for a second, but I've just checked and I am, thankfully. So you're seeing this yourself. It's wonderful to see the dynamics between the two of them.
They touched.
They touched. Are they coming in for holding hands? Is it going to happen? Oh, look at that.
Aww.
That's holding hands. And the eye. You've got eye movement now. Look at the one above there. Clearly moving the eye. Of course, what's going on here probably is beyond any of us. Just trying to zoom in now. And one thing I want to say, I've got ourselves a bit of plant myself. One thing I want to say to you is you'll see these black circles. These black circles are actually air bubbles. It's just the way they're reflecting the light. They look like they're little rubber rings. They're not. It's just simple air bubbles. Oh my God, we've got a Volvox. I didn't see that. That snuck in. Fantastic. These are, I mean, I don't know too much about them. I know they're green algae. I know it's a clump of cells, and they form this ball, this sphere. It's just going out of focus now. Let me just try and, I'm just going to try and get it back into focus again. and they kind of propel themselves, and very definitely a living thing, propel themselves through the water.
He's gone.
There's another Volvox. It's amazing. You can just see the dimples on them. And this must be 0.1, 0.2 of a millimetre, if that. This is very, very small. Amazing. So we're back with our friends. I've gone now, you'll be pleased to know, I've taken this right up to 270 times, and we're desperately trying to get a fix on a Daphnia to see it that much closer again. And we're actually in the process of chasing one down. There he is.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
He stopped.
Okay, careful then. Don't move the table. I'm moving it in. Wow. So what we're seeing there is the limbs under the carapace, end of the digestive tract. And there's the eye.
There's the heart.
Look, the valves. Look, the valves. You see the top end?
Yeah.
The valves moving.
There's his heart.
That's the valves to the heart. That's the circulation. And off again. Oh no, hang on. I'm going to gently move it once more. This is fraction of a millimetre stuff.
You can see all the hairs on his arms.
Oh, these like fronds, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So these guys can reproduce asexually as well as with a partner, depending on how good the situation their habitat is at any given time. Look at that. So that movement is its limbs under its carapace there. And I'm guessing it uses that to divert food. The pinker they are, apparently, as I've heard this, the more hemoglobin they have. We've been talking about scale here because I've been throwing around figures of like 10 times to 270 times, which is it's all very impressive. But as much as you can probably guess or try and estimate some kind of scale, it doesn't really help you unless it's compared to an object that you and I recognise. So I'm going to introduce the Queen's head into the mix. So a little penny here. I'm going to put this into the tray. There's certainly enough depth of water there to accept this, and certainly, hopefully, enough Daphnia in this specimen to get close to this penny. They always seem quite inquisitive of new objects, anyway, I've found. So the penny goes in. Hopefully, then Daphnia will come up to this, or at least a proportion of this penny, maybe even swim over it, and you'll be able to get some idea of scale. And also then bear in mind that Volvox you've just seen, that green algae you've just seen, you can probably fit 50 to 100 of those Volvox into a Daphnia, so real levels of scale. But in we go with the penny. Just going to place it in there and gently move it towards the microscope. Let's see what we're doing. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay, so you can see we've got the Y of the penny there. And yes, we've already got Daphnia.
Daphnia! Going over it.
Going over it, mate, yeah. So, I mean, look. I mean, I didn't even know that pennies have these dots around the edge. That's a revelation to me. But yeah, so hopefully this is giving you some kind of idea of scale. Amazing. This really is a microscopic world. Bit battered, that penny, isn't it? It's taken a few knocks. So I'm going to keep it at 270 times magnification and see what we can find.
What is that?
Oh my word, yes. I'm not going to touch that dish anymore. My word.
It looks like a blue Volvox.
It does, no, but it's bigger.
Hmm.
But it does. My word, that's amazing. And obviously it has the flagella of Volvox, it has some kind of mobility. It's propelling itself, it's spinning in fact on the spot there. And this kind of light sky blue, almost turquoisey colour to it.
Like the colour of the paramecium.
Yeah, absolutely. And this though, it must be algae, it must be of the same kind of family as Volvox. Look at that. It's like a little planet. That's incredible. And if you look closer, you can actually see the tiny little
cells.
Well, it's the flagella. There's like these hairs attached to each individual cell, because this is a clump of cells forming a sphere. That's incredible. So this is getting crazy now, guys. We're still holding the 270X, and deeper and deeper we go into the sample, we're finding more and more mysterious stuff. We've got a little opaque beastie, much like Daphnia, much like all the things in this sample. This opaque carapace, definitely grazing on the vegetable matter here. Kind of spiny tail. I wonder if that's rotifer. I've heard about these rotifers, a whole variety of these little guys that eat algae. In fact, most things here, there's another one swimming past, most things here eat algae as their main food source.
We got a Cyclops.
We got a Cyclops, Thomas, eventually. So this is, I think, in the bottom left corner there, guys, just come in, a little bit of blue detail, a little red eye on it. It has these wonderful 2 antennae, like horns coming out the side of it as well. So those are the 2 I really have known since I was a kid, the Daphnia and the Cyclops. Wonderful to see it, so pleased we've got ourselves a Cyclops. I assume there would be one in there. And off he goes. Oh, fantastic. I'm really made up about that.
So am I.
So currently we're having a really frustrating time at the moment. We've got this, we've got something. I don't know what it is. It's moving like Billio. I've never seen anything in any sample I've ever taken from fresh water before. This small, and it is very small, smaller than the Daphnia, moving so quickly, and it keeps on dashing in and out of frame, a bit like a whirligig. You know the whirligigs you see on the surface of the water. Now Thomas thinks he's drawn an impression of it. So what's that? To me, and I would agree with this, it looks, to all intents and purposes, a bit like a Pac-Man. If you're a Generation X kid like me, you'll know instantly. Well, everybody knows what a Pac-Man looks like. It has this kind of oval appearance, but with a cutout to the side. So we're desperately trying to pin it down at the moment. Oh, here we go again. Wow, that's swirling around, just like a whirligig. I have no idea what this is. Still trying to pin this guy. Oh.
There's a baby one.
It is, isn't it? I think. Now I'm going to zoom in to this because I've just gone back to about 200x. I'm going to go back into 270x. There it is. And it is actually. It's like a small, opaque version of the one we've been seeing. On my word, it's got is that an eye? Because that really does look like a Pac-Man now. It's a bit more of an egg shape, I'm suggesting, but what is that? It's really hard sometimes. These things, I mean, as I said, the depth of field and the focus here is incredibly shallow, so sometimes really, really difficult to try and keep it in focus. You have to forgive these threads, by the way. This is just the smallest little bit of dust that's got into the sample tray. Of course, it appears horrendous, doesn't it? It appears like these big blue threads. But this little guy is back there somewhere, and hang on, what's this doing? No way.
Dad's got trapped. Dad or Mum.
Look,
It's
look
got hairs in its
now
mouth.
look at the fronds. What on earth?
It's got hairs in its mouth.
What is that?
And off
and
again.
Gone. Hang on, what's this doing? No way.
Dad's got trapped. Dad or Mum.
Look,
It's
the
got
fronds.
hairs
Look
in
at
its
now
mouth.
look at the fronds. What on earth?
It's got hairs in its mouth.
What is that?
And off again.
Gone. No way. What was that?
You got it.
What was it though? Right. That caused. I can't. I've got to find out what that was. I'm gonna get it back up. I'm gonna go back on our recording.
There it is.
Find it. There it is. Okay, I'm just gonna pause it there.
Are you doing the take picture thing on Google?
I'm just going to take a picture of that, and then onto Twitter, and I'm going to go on to my Facebook. Oh, not Dr. Google, it'll just take too long. I'm going to go. I know a man called Ian Phillips. He's very good with entomology, and I'm hoping he's also good with microscopic freshwater crustaceans. That, and anybody actually. I'll put in Nick Baker, if anybody know of Nick Baker from the TV. He goes under the pseudonym Bug Boy Baker on Twitter, and he tends to sometimes come back with answers. He's kind enough to do that occasionally. So I sent to Ian Phillips and Bug Boy Baker and put it on Facebook, and anybody that might know what that is. And then I guess, Thomas, it's just a waiting game. Adam Homer. Ostracod. It's an ostracod. It's an ostracod. An ostracod is a bivalve crustacean. Right, let's replay this. We've got to replay this now. An ostracod, a family of bivalve crustaceans. Never in my life ever heard of them, but what a little beastie. Ostracod. Thank you, Adam Homer. You're an absolute flipping star. Brilliant. Let's have a look at it again. And there it is, look. And it really is quite something. Hoovering up the vegetable matter there, look. And those big fronds. That is amazing. It's the most fantastical thing I think I've seen in years. What an awesome thing. The ostracod. Well, there you go. I don't think there's any better way to finish than on a high like that. That was pretty special. Never fails to disappoint doing stuff like this and discovering new worlds. And who knew that was such an amazing world, so close to home? And I guess with this predicament we all find ourselves in, this is what it's all about, isn't it? It's about discovering maybe the stuff that we've just let us pass by over the years. And well, today's been one of the best days probably for discovery I've had in about a decade. So I hope you enjoyed coming along with us for our little journey, our little safari into the microscopic world of the moat water of Caldon Castle. Really looking forward to vlog 18. Hope to see you there. But for now, both in unison, goodbye